So this series is actually gonna be mastering Flutter what UI development. So let's look at this screen here, and what we're gonna do is to develop a UI for a simple food app. So as you can see on the screen, we're gonna actually develop exactly the same thing here, and this is gonna help you if you're working with food what app. And this is actually very pretty and simple, and also you can learn a lot of how to manipulate a Flutter UI. So let's get started. So if we're gonna start with this, actually I have a few files which I have set up. This is the home page and the main page which I have set up, but we have other files. I'm gonna take my time and then code, and then I explain along the line. Okay, but first let's look in the YAML file. The YAML file, you need to make sure you actually include the first one. You should look at the SVG and SVG files. I have SVG assets which I'll be including in the download link below the video, so you can get those asset files. So I have SVG for the project, and after that you just need to make sure you include your folders, that is the image and icons, which is already added to the project, but I'm gonna put that uh, below the video. So let me step into the lib. The lib, we have the main, which I already shown you. This is very simple. Set the normal template for our development, and then I have the constant. This constant is the color of our app, and then I have a home screen here. This home screen actually have errors here because we are yet to create these pages: the body, the bar navigation, and then the home app bar. We'll create that very soon. So check the folder well before you start. We have the lib. Inside the lib, I have another component folder, and I have the screen home folder, and then I have this in the root of the screen folder. So I have constants. Those are the colors. So the colors we'll be using in the app is actually here, already added to it to keep the project simple. And also we have called the color, some of the color here, that is the K primary. As you can see here, we have the K primary, and this is just an Xcode color. So as you can see, we're going to use this main 4 colors in the project. Okay, so this is just the title, and this is the body 1 and 2 in our project. Okay, so I think this is quite simple for everyone to understand. If you are really new to Flutter, I recommend you to check our newbie Flutter development series. You can check our other videos, and you're gonna get a grasp on what is happening here. So this is the homepage. I'm calling this homepage here, and this homepage can be found in one of our files, which is this. So but I'm actually gonna add some files to this to also help us continue with the project development. So let's first start with the body. This is simply what calling a class inside a Flutter file. So this body, we're gonna create a file inside our component under the screen. So under this here, I right click this, and then I create a new file. So this new file, we're gonna actually name it body, yeah, but make sure you add .dat. Yes, then you can click enter. Okay, so for the body, we are actually gonna do something very simple here, where we're gonna call other classes inside this. So it's gonna be a pretty much simple file. So first, let us import our package, that is a Flutter package, and this is just for the material UI. Okay, so we go Flutter, then I go material, That's perfect. Okay, so here we actually gonna create a stateless widget. Okay, yeah, let's do a stateless widget here, and I'm using the shortcut, so stateless. Good. Then I'll call this file body. That's the class. Yeah, body. Very simple. And inside our return, we actually gonna have a return of what? A single child scroll view, not a container here. Okay, so I scrap this off, and then I use what? Single child scroll view. Yeah, this is perfect. Why we use single child scroll view? Because this will help you to actually scroll the page, and it makes it a bit flexible when you have a lot of widgets on your page. Okay, so I have the child here, and for the child we're gonna use a column for this. It makes it very simple. And for our column, let us add a cross-axis alignment, and then we add cross-axis again. Cross-axis alignment dot start, because we want it to start from the beginning of the widget. At the beginning of the widget, I mean, if we do cross, this is actually going to arrange our widget in a cross-axis alignment starting from this side of the page or our app. Simply saying on the screen. Okay, so let me now add a child, and for not a child but children, because we're gonna have a lot of widget here inside here. So first we'll be adding a search. As you saw in the picture, we had a search at the top. So this is what I'm gonna add here, which I'll create later on. So we're gonna have a search box here, and this search box, let me just leave it open. No, let me add on change event, which we might not use, but for you to know what can happen in this. But let's see, unchanged. Okay, so unchanged, and for the unchanged, it has a value, yes, and after the value, then we call what? We call an empty open and close bracket. But let's watch here. This, if we want to actually have a function for onChange event, then we can put it in this curly braces here. But let's leave it empty now, and then let me add another. After, let me see this. Where is the closeness here? Okay. So after our search box, I'm also gonna add a category list, which we are yet to add, but since we're gonna create that, I want to add that to it now. So category list here, it will be created soon, so it might show an error, but never mind, we'll create that very soon. So we don't need this section now, so I take it off. And then I'm also gonna add item lists. Yes, we'll create an item list as well. So let me do that empty as well here. And then next, I'm gonna add discount card, because we're gonna create that. As you saw in the image I showed you, discount card. Okay, and let me see, discount card will also be empty. Yeah, just like this. So this page will actually have this simple code, and all these classes will be created later on in another file. Yes, so let's go ahead and then create one of these files we just added in this file. So let's jump straight into let me see this. Okay, in our home we have the body, which I have just created this body. So what I'll do is I have the body in this one. Okay, so I need to actually do what? Make sure I import this one right here. Okay, up there. So this arrow goes off. You get it very quick. So now let me go to the bottom navigation bar. We still have some errors in the body, but never mind, because we have not actually called any uh, any needed files up there, because we just created this, but we have not added the importation at the top. So that is why we have this error. So let me go to the home screen, and the next one is the bottom navigation. Okay, so the bottom navigation, if we want to actually create that, we should have the navigation at the bottom that I already showed you on the picture. Okay, so for that, let's create this folder, or this file rather, inside this folder. So I call it the bottom underscore, we call it the nav underscore navbar. Okay, so bar dot dot, make sure you add the dot to it. Okay, so we have bottom underscore nav underscore what, bar, that is the name of what, of the folder, the file rather, the file is inside this component what, folder. Okay, but first, don't forget, let's import our dat. Okay, so package and Flutter, this is for what, material, because we want to use the material what, included Flutter classes. So we need to actually import this. It's very necessary for us to use the material dot essentials. Okay, good. So here I'm going to also add a very simple import here. This import is actually for SVG files. So I go with the package, and here I type Flutter. I type the Flutter here. I already showed you this in the YAML file, so don't forget. I have Flutter, and for this Flutter underscore SVG, don't forget this. And then I go, the next one will be Flutter SVG. Okay, so you can see it's actually having this line because these imports are not being used. So now let's make use of it. But before we do that, we're gonna create another stateless widget in here. So I use the shortcut STL. Then I go. So the name of this will be, let me give it bottom navbar. Yeah, that one, navbar. Okay. Oh, sorry, navbar, just like this. Yes, this is okay. Then here we'll actually be returning this container. Okay, we'll actually be returning this container. So that is great for us. But before I actually add the codes in here, let me just add a navbar constant that is just gonna be a key for this page, and this key is actually a unique key for each page if you want to track it in a project. So I'm just gonna add a bottom nav bar here, and this bottom nav bar would have a round bracket, and inside the round bracket we're gonna have the curly braces. Okay, so for the curly braces here, we will simply be key. It's very important if you want to keep your pages or tag your pages with unique identifier. So we have a key, and then we have a super key. Yes, key, and then the value is key. Perfect. Okay. So next we need to look at, let me terminate this before we continue. So what we're going to return here will be simply our height, our decoration, our width, and all that. But first, since this is actually the navigation bar, we need to actually decorate and then make sure the navigation bar fits very well on our screen on the app. So first, let me start with the padding. And this padding, we're gonna have an uh, edge insert of let me see. Let's do geometry. Yeah, geometry will be good. Then we add a horizontal here. So we're gonna have a geometry and a horizontal of 35. Yes, because we want to keep it, fit it down there correctly. So we use this pattern. Then next is the height of the pattern. Let's say at least 75. The height of the nav bar should be at least 75 for us. And after the height, let's add some width to it, and this width to take the whole screen based on the height we have actually given it. So we use a double and a double dot infinity to actually close the gap dot infinity. Okay, good, perfect. Okay, after this, what are we gonna do? This double dot infinity means it cover the available width on our screen, so that will actually help and then cover the whole button for us, and all the navigation icons will show properly on the screen. Okay, so next is we're gonna add some decoration to our navigation bar. Okay, so we use the decoration widget, and then we use the box decoration, this box decoration. And what we'll do in this box decoration is actually to add some widgets in here, and also add some kind of styling to it. So first, the box will have a color, and this color, let's keep it to be white. So white. Okay, so we're gonna make sure our navigation bar is always white. Okay, so let me go colors. This is wrong. Colors here. Perfect. Then let's add the border radius for our navigation too. So let's watch here. Border radius. Border radius. And let's say border radius, we call border radius again. And this border radius will actually have a dot only, since we want the radius to be at just certain part of this, the boxes we're gonna actually decorate for the radio button. So dot only, we use the dot only, and dot only will help us to actually specify which side we want to apply the radius. So we will say top left. Yes, let's use the top left, and top left border radius will be what? Or radius, let me call it radius dot circular. Okay, this radius dot circular, and this you need to actually add the value. So here will be 20, and we're gonna have the top right. We have the top left, so let's add the top right, and the top right is also gonna be the same, so that we have some good proportion for our nav bar. Okay, so now we have this. Now we're actually gonna add box shade to this, box shade to this. So let me see. Oh, we have two here. Okay, and then this is here. Perfect. Good. So after our decoration, let's now add the box shadow. Okay, box shadow. Box shadow, and this, let me see this first. Box shadow, make sure it's inside our decoration like this. Box shadow, box shadow, box shadow. And for this box shadow, let me see, we're gonna add another, just a minute. Yes, we use the box parenthesis, and then we actually add the box shadow inside this widget like this. Shadow, yes. And for the box shadow inside, we need to set the offset, and the offset for this will also be of, sorry, offset. And this offset, we need to set the values for this. So first will be 0, and then next will be minus what, 7. Then I need to add a comma to this. Then we add the blurriness. Here, let me close this well. Yeah, this is good. Then I add blur. So we could have the blur radius. So let me use the blur radius. It makes the design a bit nice. So I add at least 33 here. Then I'm gonna add the color. The color, the color of our blur radius. Let me see. Or our box shadow. Sorry. So I'm gonna add this color here, and this color, it's gonna be a let me see, we use a hex code rather. So color, then we have this. So our hex code is actually gonna be a light blue. So light blue, we can use 0x, that is the ARG. Yeah, that's the color combination. So then I add FF and 6D A 6DAE. Then we have a D9. This can actually be picked out from your Photoshop, or you can use an online tool for an XVG. If you don't remember, you can check that. So this is actually for light blue, and light blue is really cool. So I added that one for our box shadow. Okay, so what else should we add? This one, let's add some opacity to it. So we add dot width opacity. Okay, I just want it to be a bit lighter. Then we need to set the values. So 0, 11 is good. Yeah, 0, 11. I think this is good. Yes. Then let's look at the other side. So 0, 11. Then let me actually add a comma to this. Okay. So box shadow. Box shadow. Box shadow. Okay. Box shadow is here. Then we have this. Then we have 11 here. What is this 11? Opacity. Okay. Then we close the tag, correct. Then I close this tag too. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. We have some error here, sorry. We use a small letter, that is correct. Then we check the next widget. We want to add a row to this. Yes, now we have the shadow of the bottom navigator. We have the decoration, the color, the radius. We have actually added this styling to it. That's the width, the height, and the padding. Now we're gonna add a row because all our icons should be in a row, and this is gonna help it actually arrange very well inside the row. That is why we did this. Okay, so no, okay, this is 11. This should be okay. Oh, it's exporting an argument there. Let me do this. Yeah, this is correct. So we can move on with this. Now let's actually add the row to this. So I add a child, and this child is actually gonna have our what? It's gonna have our list of icons, the icons we want to add to our bottom navigation. Okay. Oh, what happened here? Okay, that's good. Next, let's add this. So first we said our main. Let me set our main dot axis alignment, and this will also start with main dot axis alignment. We want to actually display the icons very well by using its own occupied or left space for it. So to do that, we have to use the space between. That means we need to arrange it in a way it's gonna have some spaces in between each icon. Okay, so since we want to add a lot of icons on our bottom navigator, we need to use the children the children widget, and then we're gonna have another widget inside the children. Okay, so since we're gonna use icons, let's make use of the icon widget. Okay, so I call the icon, but this is gonna be a click event that will actually happen. So we use the icon button click event that will be very cool for the project. Okay, so since I have this, I can simply change this on press and that one to probably this, because we're gonna leave this blank for now. We're not gonna use this. So for this, we have the on press. Second, we're gonna have the icon. So icon for this will actually be an SVG file. So we have already included that. So what we have to do is to now add our SVG by typing this SVG, then we add our SVG picture. Okay, so SVG picture dot assets, which I have already included in our asset. I'm gonna add it all these assets down below the link for you to get the source code. Okay, so you can use your own assets, or you can try to use the asset I have in this project. Okay, so let me continue. So dot asset, and this dot asset, I'm gonna add this asset, but don't forget you are supposed to add this inside your YAML file, which I already showed you from the beginning. Okay, so asset slash icons, and the first icon is actually using the home icon. So I type home dot what SVG. which is already inside our asset folder. Okay, so SVG, and that is correct. What is wrong here? Let me pay attention here. So we have this. Oh, okay. It is this right here. Let me double check with this. Okay, good. So I take this off. Then we have on press. Then we have icon, and this is svg picture.asset. So here, let's actually put this in either double quote or single quote. That is okay. So perfect. Now I'm gonna duplicate this and then add all the icons inside our asset. So to duplicate this, I add the comma here, then I just paste the first one, I add another comma here, sorry, and then I paste the second one. So now we have 3 icons on our on our project, or on the front page where we have the bottom navigation. But let me add another one so that we have 4 icons for our bottom navigation. So the home, I will take off this home and then add one asset which is name following. Where am I getting this assets? Is right here. This is icons. We are using these icons, so you can see this list of icons we are using here, and this is svg, but you can decide to use any format of what file you want, like png, jpeg, and all that. But svg is a lightweight and very recommended. I think you should use that to help your project run a bit smoother. Okay, so the second icon is the what? Is the lifts, and let me add this to it. This is H, correct. The next one is person. Okay, just the head of a person. Yeah, just an icon. Okay, perfect. So I'm basically done with this page. So this is the bottom navigation what bar. So everything is set here. Perfect. Next, let me see. We need to add the app bar. Yeah, app bar. So for the app bar, let me add a file here for this one. File. And then I call it app_bar. Perfect. Dot that. Good. I save this. Good. So let me see. Now we are done with the bottom nav bar or bottom navigation bar. So this has an error because it's not imported. So you can simply go here and then tap. Then it's imported. Perfect. So now we have home app bar. So I just created the app bar app_nav bar, and this is gonna have the other class which we have already added in our project. So what I'll do is to start by importing our essentials here. So import, the first one will be what? Package for the material UI. So don't forget that. And then next we'll be using SVGs here. So we need to also add our SVG here. So package, then we're gonna have a flutter underscore SVG. Yeah, SVG, then slash SVG again. Perfect. So we have included SVG package here, and let's add no, nothing to add now. Maybe we'll add another file. later. But let me see, we're gonna use the color for this app bar navigation. So let me import our constant, which was already set at the beginning of the project. So the constant is actually using the hex code for this project. So I have already set the colors. You can check the constant and then add your own hex code colors, and that is also fine. So package, and then for this package, this package, let me see. Oh, okay, I said we should import the constant. Okay, so I see. Let me check this first. Okay, good. So AppBar, the package, food app. Then we actually go with a constant. Constant of that. Perfect. Okay. So now what we'll do here is to have a simple class, and this is actually gonna return an app bar. So inside here we're gonna have an app bar, and this app bar will have home app bar, and for this it's actually gonna be build we're gonna use the build contest here. Very easy. So build contest, then we add a contest here so that it can actually render the UI for us. Yeah, that's why we are adding this. Okay, so this is very easy. So here we actually gonna return something to the screen, and we're gonna return app bar, and for this app bar, we should return a background color in this app bar. So let me see the background color, and then we'll also return some other stuff. So we have the app bar. Yeah, we can do this in the home, but since we'll be calling this same app bar in most of the files, so we have actually created a single file which have the app bar widget itself in here with all properties defined. So let's have first, I said the app bar, we're gonna have the background color. So I add the background color here, and our color will be colors. Make sure your C is capital. Yes. So colors.white. Okay, so I add it here. And next is we're gonna add the elevation. Elevation is how the bottom or the app bar it's gonna raise. Yeah, so we want to keep it flat, so we go elevation 0. And the next is the leading, what it's gonna start on our app bar. We want to use an icon, so this icon will have on press, which we will not use the on press in this project. So let's keep it simple. So this is gonna be empty function. Okay, let me clean this, and then I give it a braces. Perfect. For the icon, we're gonna use the SVG. So let me type in SVG here. SVG picture, yes, dot assets, because we want to call the SVG from our assets folder. Okay, so assets, then I go slash icons, and we're gonna use which icon? The menu icon. Okay, menu icon dot svg. Okay, svg. Perfect. Then I actually add this here, but don't forget to add a single quote or double quote. all of them work fine. So we have the leading. This means it's gonna be the starting of what? Of our app bar. Okay, so I want to show you the picture once more. So as you can see, this is our app bar, right? So for the app bar, we actually added this menu right here using the SVG asset, and we are designing all this. We actually finished with this. That is the bottom navigation bar, and then we are now here before we finish the inside one. All right, so let's go back to the code. So I have added the menu SVG. Then the next thing we have to do is to add a rich text, and this rich text will actually be the name showing inside the app bar, or whether on the left or in the middle, whatever is okay. So after that, let me go beneath. Then I add a title, and that title will have the rich word, the rich text. So title, and then we have a rich text, and this rich text, rich text. Okay, so let me use this one. We're gonna have a test. Rich text actually help you add some custom styling to it easily, and can have different tests and then style each test differently or each word differently. So that is why I'm trying to use the rich text. Okay, so for the test, we're gonna have a text span. Text span, and for the text span, what should we add here? We're gonna add a style to this, and this style will be the theme dot of. We are using the theme we have already defined inside our project. So I do theme of, and I have the test. Let me use the test theme, and I'm gonna have the next one. I'm also gonna use the headline, headline for this test, and this headline should use the headline 6 to actually show the test. This is just like adding styling to your word in Microsoft project, or if you type in something and you want to add some bold, some thickness, some colors in Microsoft Word. It's just almost the same here that we are doing. So the same word is actually having all these properties attached to it to look the way we want it to look like. Okay, so we use copy width font. So we're giving it a font width here, the thickness of how it should look like, and then we will say font should be what? Bold. So font width, then we do dot bold. Okay, so it's gonna pop out and then look very, very bold. And here we also gonna add children here, and for these children it will help us actually categorize the word that we want to apply each styling to. So for this span, we have this styling that is going to apply to a particular word, and that word should be inside the children what widget. Okay, so inside here, the first test will actually be inside a text span. Text span means separating it from the other test. So and apply a style to it. So I have this here. The first word will be inside this text span, and this text span will actually have the text, the test itself here, and we want to call this GHMail. So the first word, this is actually a word, GH, and this can be in a single or a double quote. Okay, then let me add internal styling to this, and this will be a test style. I use text style. Yeah, I like this one. I use text style, and then inside will be color, and this color, we're gonna actually make use of our color inside a constant, and that color is called a k secondary inside our constant. So k secondary is here. Yes, so I use this color from our constant what folder. Okay, so k secondary. Then next is adding our next test to it. Children here can have a lot of this test span, so copy and paste, very simple. Okay, and the next word will be male. Okay, why am I doing this? If you see, let's check the image again. This one, we have this one here, DH, and then we have the male. But why we are separating the text is because I actually want to apply different styling to each of the word. That is why we use the rich text. Okay, perfect. So we have the male now. The male also have a different styling. So here, instead to use the secondary, I will use the K primary color. They're just simple colors we have in our constant word. This constant import here. So this constant have the primary color, the secondary color, the test color, and the test light color, and we are using the hex code. This hex code, you can use Photoshop to get the hex code, or you can use online tools to get your hex code. Okay, so let me go back to the AppBar and let's continue. Okay, so K primary color, perfect. K primary color is here, and what are we gonna add next? We actually gonna add the notification icon here, because we are done with the leading, and then we are done with this, and we are done with this. Now let us add this, and this is called action. To add this to the navigation bar, you need to make use of the action widget. So you simply type action. Why action? Because mostly we add an event to this to navigate or maybe open a page or any kind of that sort. So I add icon here, and I'm using the icon button, and inside here we have an on press, and then we can use an asset. So this is gonna be empty. In the future should be an event click or something like that, or on the press. So here, this icon, we need to add our SVG, because most of my files are all what SVG, and svg.asset, then I call assets the folder and another folder icons, and I add the name of what of the file, that is notification. So notification dot svg. Okay, make sure you include or add your double or single quote. Perfect. So we are done with this. Now we added this one here. This is the leading here. and the rich tests gh and mail here. Then we have the action here. Okay, so the action is here, so I added this svg. Perfect. Let me save this, and we are pretty much done with this one. So we actually gonna move to the other files and then complete it, but we still have this. We are yet to complete this, and let me see the app bar. Let me import this app bar, and then we are done with the home. So we are actually gonna finish the other part of the of these classes we have already called in this